Hi, I'm Josh Willis with Raise This Photomask. Today I'm just going to explain to you a couple of the advantages of our CNC AutoBlaster that we're offering. Traditionally, if you looked at the automated sandblasting market, you're going to see a lot of big box blasters. There's a blue one, a silver one, a yellow one, a gray one, but they all do about the same thing. They start from the top left-hand quarter and they blast down to the bottom right and everything in between. One of the advantages that we have is that you can have up to 9 different fields in one program, which means we're not going to blast from this part of the stone all the way down to here. We're just going to blast the areas that need to be engraved. What that's going to do is save you time and money. One thing you're going to notice is that it's an open-aired machine. An advantage to that is in this great state of California, this is the only machine that doesn't require air pollution permit because it does such a good job of cleaning up the dust and abrasive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a simple program. When you turn on the machine and you go to program, there's a red laser light that comes on. That tells me where I'm going to blast. So I'm going to start there. I'll accept it. You'll notice the light starts blinking. Then what I'm going to do is take it down, make sure I covered all my letters, and come up just a little bit here. That looks pretty good. I'm going to accept that. Then what I'd like to do is just run a contour and make sure all my letters are inside the area. So now, rather than blasting the whole stone, I'm just going to do Loving Father. If I go to the next field, which would be field number 2, you can see basically I'm only blasting what's inside my programmed box. So to program this stone would probably take about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Since I've already done it, we'll go ahead and start running. We were right around 12 minutes and 30 seconds to blast this stone. And I'll go over a couple other really good features of the machine, but the number one being that we didn't spend any time blasting areas that didn't need to be blasted. So you could have gone a little deeper depending on how many passes and what speed you wanted to run at. This one you can see we ran 6 passes, this one we only ran 3. Each field can be individually programmed for passes and speed. Another great feature of this machine is typically when your machine runs out of sand, you'll hear all the air coming out and you have to stop the machine, refill it. This machine does it automatically. It has a sensor in it that says, hey, I'm low and I'm out of sand. The machine will pause, it'll stop, refill, repressurize itself, and then it'll go back and continue exactly where it left off, so that you're always going to be left with a nice, even, consistent blast. It truly is a set it and forget it type of machine. Once you get it programmed, depending on the size, you can start that program, walk away, go prep another stone, and you can be assured that when you come back and the machine is stopped, that stone is complete. So another nice feature of the machine is it comes ready for your application. Meaning, if you're using traditional rubber and you're blasting with a 36 grit stone blast or center ball, whatever you're using, the machine will handle that. If you're using a more modern photoresist film, which you would use if you wanted to get finer detail and not have to weed letters, well, you could run a 40-70 grit center ball. One of the key features to an automated machine or a CNC machine is the consistency of blast. Whether you're using rubber or photoresist film, you're going to notice, especially on your raised letters and your big open negative spaces, you're going to notice the consistency. You cannot match that hand blasting. Another nice thing about the machine is because our nozzle's fixed at about 4.5, 5 inches off the stone, we can actually blast with lower pressures. Rather than blasting at 120 pounds of pressure, we can drop that down to 75 or 80 and still get the same results because the nozzle is so much closer to the stone. This is the whole machine right here. You can do a 48 by 48 roughly size in one program. If you had a longer stone like a ledger, you would do that in 2 pieces. But a single program is going to handle 48 by 48, which is plenty big enough for most monuments that we're doing today. This is the guts of the machine. You have the dust collector, the pressure pot, all on one. It's on wheels. The CNC table is to the side. How the machine works is when the sand is collected from the head of the machine, it goes through a triple filtration. It's going to come in here, cyclone, all your light abrasive is going to get sucked up, go into a second cyclone, which is going to drop some finer powder. The finest powder is going to get sucked up and it's going to go back here into the actual dust collector. It does have an automatic pulsing clean, so it keeps itself clean. It knows when to do that. Your pressure pot's down below. Your blasting hose goes up and around to the top, along with the dust suction hose. As I mentioned before, when it runs out of sand, it's going to notify itself to stop, empty the sand back into the pressure pot, repressurize and go. Where that happens is with this sensor right here. When this light goes off, right now there's sand in the pot. As the sand goes down and empties, that triggers a switch which tells it it's time to refill. So that sensor sits right inside of here, monitors how much sand level is in the pot at all times. You can adjust your pressure pot anywhere from 0 to 7 bars. This gives you your line pressure and this gives you your actual blasting pressure so you know what you're blasting with while the machine's running. Once again, I'm Josh Willis with Resist. Thank you for taking the time to look at our CNC AutoBlaster. If you have any questions that we can answer, please don't hesitate to call or email us. You can call us at 1-800-729-9478. You can visit us online at www.resist.com, or you can email us at info@resist.com. We're here. We'd be happy to help you and answer any questions. And definitely be happy to set one of these up in your shop as soon as you want.